Hi, I'm James Niggemeyer. I love to fish a bladed jig. It's been a very effective tool for me over the years. The one that I particularly throw is a Strike King Pure Poison. And the reason I like this one, it's got a unique hinge to it. It's got a split ring that attaches the head to it. It's got great action. It's got a really good hook. And I typically fish it in white, chartreuse in white, and a bluegill pattern or a green pumpkin. I usually fish a Strike King swimmin' shiner or swimmin' caffeine shad with this boot tail type swim bait on the back. It gives it a lot of action and it gives it a lot of vibration or movement in the water, which draws fish to it. I love to fish it on a 7-foot medium heavy St. Croix rod. This is a Legend tournament, and I like to fish it on copolymer line. I think the reason is that the thing that's so important about fishing it with these types of rod and line is that a lot of times when this fish comes up behind this bait, it's like a swim bait. A lot of times if you set the hook on the actual tick, you'll miss some of those fish. You need to actually have them load up on the rod, actually pull down on the bait like a swim bait. If you let them load up on the rod and you set the hook, you'll catch way more of them. And I think the same is true for a bladed jig. So I want a rod that's going to be a little bit more forgiving. And I want line like copolymer line. This is Gamma copolymer line, and it's going to have less stretch than mono, but it's going to have more stretch than fluorocarbon, which gives the bait to the fish, and I'll have less of that less chance of that fish actually coming off, and I'll hook and land more fish with it. I like to fish it with like a 7:3 to 1 gear ratio reel, and the big key for me with fishing this bait is I typically like a medium pace retrieve. Sometimes I'll speed it up, sometimes I'll slow it down and kind of trace the bottom with it. But covering water and finding those areas where the fish are really utilizing, whether it's points or pockets or drains, grass or timber, those types of things, it's important to cover a lot of water till you find that certain zone where those fish are. But a bladed jig with a Strike King swimming caffeine shed on the back is my go-to bait whenever I'm looking to catch some fish on a bladed jig.